Welcome back, everybody. We're going to jump right into it. We've got some green bean fermenting to do, so let's go. Alright, so I jumped ahead of all of you, and as you can see, I've already got our green beans washed. I've already got our jars washed, cleaned up. Now, we're going to, these are tenderettes. These are not a bean with strings in them, so we don't have to string these. I like the tenderettes just because of that, because I can get them done real quick and get them in the jar. But what we're going to do today is we're going to ferment these green beans. And this first batch I'm going to do is just going to be just your regular typical ferment, just to preserve, save, and be able to have for later. We're not going to add any flavors or anything to this one. Now also, if you watched our last videos, we've been kind of doing a little series on this fermenting. We were using the mason tops with these jars and using the pickling weights, and boy, that just makes things a lot simpler. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to using the pickling weights. When you go these jars, we're not going to be using pickling weights with, because I'm out of them. So and I'm waiting to get some more, but these right here, we are going to be packing them in full. We're going to pack them in tight. We're going to pack them in there just as tight as we can get them. That way, when we do put our brine in, we don't have any beans floating up past the top of the brine, and we won't lose any that way. Now, also with not having the pickling pipe, when you do set these out, after you get your brine in them and you get them in the fermentation process, you need to set them out somewhere where you can see them every day. Because with the regular lid and band, which, oops, I just dropped one. With the regular lid and band like this, there's no way for it to release the pressure automatically. That's what the pickling pipes are made especially to do. So you need to go around all your jars that you have just a regular lid and band on, and you need to burp them. And that burping process is basically, you've got your lid on top of your jar, etc. And this is going to build up pressure in the fermentation process. And what you'll do is you'll loosen your lid just a little bit, and you'll hear it go psst. You'll hear a little pressure relief, and then you'll tighten it right back up. You don't unscrew it. You don't pull the lid clear off of it. You just loosen it up just a little bit, maybe a quarter of a turn, and you'll hear it release the pressure, and then you tighten it right back down. So, and if I thought about this, I'd have had some of these snap before I brought you guys along with me, but I guess the great thing about this is you get to watch everything just as we do it. And if you get to watch and you get to learn, hopefully you can be more comfortable with doing your own ferments at home. Because I know a lot of the issues that people has is they're scared to try something new. They're scared they're going to fail. Well, bringing you guys along with us and doing this together maybe give you a little bit more of a boost of confidence to be able to help you do this yourself. Whether you're in town, whether you're living off grid, whether you're just looking to try something new as a hobby. Hopefully we can help you get over that little bit of insecurity and help you guys save some food at home. Now these green beans, we just picked them this morning. Angie was actually doing laundry this morning to save me a little bit of time and headache, which is wonderful. Because normally I'm the one that gets to do the laundry. But I enjoy doing laundry. So I went out and picked these this morning. Angie picked some cucumbers. We've got some cherry tomatoes over here that I picked also. And with the cherry tomatoes, we're planning on fermenting them also. So if you would, leave us a comment and let me know if you'd be interested in seeing a fermentation process for cherry tomatoes. That's also not a whole lot that you see. We're going to be making some ketchup when our big tomatoes come on. So if you guys want to see us make ketchup, you want to learn how to ferment ketchup, let us know. We'll make a video for that too. We like to make whatever you guys would be interested in watching. So leave us a comment. Of course, we want to thank all of you that have subscribed. We want to thank our subscribers for tuning in and sticking with us through all this. And it's just been a wonderful ride. Every bit of a wonderful ride. And all of you that haven't subscribed, because unfortunately we do have a lot more people that are watching that are unsubscribed than are. We hope that you do subscribe and follow along with us. Tap that little subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll know the next time we let a video out. And that subscription don't cost you anything. All you gotta do is hit the little subscribe button. Oops, lost a bean. How tragic. So, and also fermenting's not for everyone. Obviously you ferment with salt. And these things are a little salty to some people. I preferably like it when because we're eating these with a meal that we're preparing. And they're already seasoned basically. You don't have to do anything to them. You pour them right out of the jar, cook them up, put them with your mashed potatoes. They're ready to rock and roll. Now the next batch that I'm going to do is going to be dill green beans. And with the green beans, there's not a whole lot of difference as far as adding your spices in to make them something different. These are just going to be regular fermented green beans, nothing special. But if you wanted to make them, for instance, some people like garlicky green beans. When you would start your ferment here, kind of like pickles, you would add your cloves of garlic in here before you started your ferment with your green beans. And you would carry out the same process, just like if you were making dill. You could add a sprig of dill or a head of dill, an actual plant. Oh, now that one had a couple strings in it. That was odd for a tenderette. Oops, I didn't get that in. So another thing, make sure your guys' jars are clean. Inspect your rings and your bands. If some of you are reusing things, if some of you have gotten hand-me-downs, inspect the condition of the rings, the condition of your jars. Inspect the condition of the rim of your jar. Make sure it's free of cracks, impurities, because you want to get a good seal when you're doing this. Don't want anything to go wrong with these. So we're getting down here where we can start packing them down in. Getting them in there good and tight. You can get a lot of beans into one jar. So, and I'm not going to keep you guys with me here while I'm doing all of these. I'm just going to get a jar here started for you, and if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them. Angie and I try and do our best to answer everybody. We appreciate and we really enjoy all the comments that you guys share. It's a lot of fun to be able to talk with you guys and learn different things, and it's just a good time. All right. And also, another thing that Angie and I had talked about we'd really like to do is we would like to start up some fall fermenting classes. We would be supplying your vegetables and your fermenting tools, and we'd ask you to pre-register and pay a fee, and we would send you guys home with 4 different ferments and an entire fermenting kit all of your own. So if that might be something you're interested in, give me a shout, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Now, as you can see with this jar here, you're not going to pack it clear full, clear to the gills all the time and get all the air out. But she's packed pretty full all the way to the top. It's not going to fall out. You don't want them falling out. Okay? You want to be able to put your brine in there and nothing float to the top, because you don't want it to be in the air. So you want everything to be packed in nice and tight. You don't have to worry about anything falling out. Now, on just a standard ferment, we want you guys to use filtered water. Non-chlorinated, non-city. Well, if you have city water and you can run it through a filtering system like a Berkey, something that will take out the chlorine, the impurities, the viruses, so on and so forth. We always want you to use that, because chlorine will wreak havoc on a ferment. That's very bad. And we're going to put a little bit of water in a jar. Our non-chlorine filtered water. This right here is unrefined salt. Our local health food store has unrefined salt available. You don't want to use iodized, processed salt. Don't do it. It's got chemicals in it that are just, if you do some research, you'll learn. But this is unrefined salt. As you can see, looks kind of brown. It does cake up because it doesn't have the anti-caking agents in it that the salt you get from the store, the processed salt. So with this, you're going to do about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. Okay? 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And I'm going to leave all this stuff out because after you guys take off, I'm going to be taking care of this and finishing the rest of it. We're going to shake this up, and then we're going to make, this is a saltwater brine is what this is. So we're going to shake this up real good. Now, like my last video, every time I do the first jar, I always overfill it. So if I overfill it, don't be surprised. I can normally gauge it after the first 2 or 3. Alright, we got our saltwater brine shook up here real good, mixed up. Now we're going to pour this in. Now see there, don't have enough. Wow, looky there. First one that don't have enough. That's amazing. So we're going to put some more in here. We've already got the proper amount of salt, so it won't hurt to add a little bit of extra water. Alright. We got it up above our green beans. See if I can slide this over here where you can see it. See there, we got it up above the green beans right there. It's maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. You can see the little bubbles starting to come up. Now I'm going to add a little bit more water to that. I may regret that later, but I'm going to add a little bit more. Once you do that, Well, I gotta open a new pack of. I got kind of ahead of the game this past winter, and I ordered some brand new bands and lids, and I've been breaking into my new bands and lids. What'd they do? All fall to the bottom? Look at that, they're all in the bottom. Now we like to keep our ferments around 60 to 70 degrees. You want to keep them out of direct sunlight, but you want to keep them out where you can see them. You're going to make sure that your rim is still clean. There's nothing on top of your rim. Put your lid on there. Put your band on. And set that somewhere where you can see it every day. Or set a reminder in your phone where you can remember to burp it every day, because you're going to come in and you're going to grab a hold of it and you're just going to turn it slightly, and you'll hear the pressure release, and then you'll tighten it right back up. So, you know, if you don't have the mason tops or any of the other products that are out there for fermentation, you can do it this way as long as you take your time and do it right. It's a little bit more labor intensive, but it works the same principle. You're gonna let this set for 2 weeks. All right, you're gonna let these set for 2 weeks, burping them every day. After that 2 weeks, and sometimes even sooner, I've seen, depending on the weather, I've seen sometimes upwards of around 5 days, 6 days that they'll be fermented. You won't get any more pressure out of them. The pressure will be gone. You can go ahead, tighten that lid and band down, and put it in cold storage. Put it in your refrigerator, wherever you guys are, or your root cellar, wherever you're putting it, and it'll be good to go. You'll have your green beans ready. You can pull them out and use them whenever you're ready. All right, guys, I got a lot more to do. As you can see, there's still some here from today. Thank you for staying with me and fermenting this jar with us. I got more to do. Let me know if you guys are interested in the cherry tomatoes. Make some little fermented cherry tomato bombs here. We got some more cucumbers to do. So if there's any other fermenting videos you're interested in, leave us a comment and let us know. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.